We're joined by Tom Agnes. He is the Liquor Operations Manager for the City of Brooklyn Center. Tom, thank you for joining us.
Good to see you, Dave.
You have some exciting news to tell us about. Tell us about the new store and what people will find inside.
Yes, so about 2 years ago at Brooklyn Center here, we decided it was time to start finding out what we were going to do about our main store. The lease was expiring and we made the decision to start moving towards owning stores instead of leasing stores. So after a lot of work, we found a location, put up a plan, and on March 2nd, we opened a 9,500 square foot new liquor store. Some of the features, we went with a little more cost efficiency on the cooler. So instead of having cooler doors like a traditional store, we have one big beer cave. So one door lets you in there, one door lets you out. That's a lot more efficient because you don't have, it's probably equivalent to a 40-door cooler where you have all those doors opening and closing all the time and letting all that air out. And then the condensers are also more efficient. With any cooling cooler or freezer, you've got a contrast of heat and cold there, and then you've got to release moisture out of that system. This is much more efficient, so it doesn't have to warm up every night and cool down during the day. So it's much more efficient that way.
Great location for people to visit. So let's talk a little bit about operations now during COVID-19. What is different? How are you getting along?
So we opened that store on March 2nd, and then 16 days later, we ended up closing it because of COVID. We faced a little bit of what I call whiplash. We were going 100 miles an hour getting into that new store, and now it's zero. Yeah. So we locked things up. What you found with liquor stores is, since they were considered essential, some private stores stayed open, but a lot of municipal liquor stores closed up because the cities were closing up their public buildings. So we were involved in that. But then we came up with a plan that said, how can we open up that is much safer for our employees and for customers? And we came up with the parking lot pickup option. They call a phone number, 763-549-3701. I have a cashier taking that order. They run the credit card over the phone. We process that order and bring it right out to your car, load it in there. We're still being safe. So the person running the order out is full in PPE. They've got goggles. They've got gloves that are changed every transaction, and they've got masks. And they're wiping down the cart between every transaction. So we're trying to do it the best way we can. But in our industry, we still need to card every person. So we want to make sure they're old enough to purchase. So there is still some contact there, but we don't necessarily have to handle the ID. So it seems to be working pretty well. We opened on Monday, and the sales, as people get informed of it, are incrementally jumping up. So that is helpful.
Very good. Let's talk about the future now. You're getting through this process, but how about looking ahead? When we get up to full operation, what will things look like in Brooklyn Center?
Yeah, so our goal is to get back to normal, but we're not quite ready to do that today. So right now we have one store open with the parking lot pickup process. Our goal is to get our second store open with that, and then eventually open the doors. When we open the doors, I think, like all businesses, there'll be some safety procedures in place. We'll have some guards up at the registers that will protect, the transaction between the cashier and the customer. We'll have distancing in place. We'll have marks on the floor. Before this ever started, we had hand sanitizing stations in the store. We'll make sure our carts are wiped down. We'll do everything that we possibly can to make sure our customers and our employees are taken care of from a health standpoint.
And if people want more information about the locations, they can go to cityofbrooklyncenter.org, and that's the place that all the updates about COVID-19 are happening, and also when city operations will be back up and running. Tom, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you,
we hope
Dave.
to talk to you again soon.
All right, thank you.
Learn more about the connection at ccxmedia.org and follow us on social media.